Thank you so much for coming back on the Soulful Therapy, where knowledge heals. If you're not subscribed, I request you to please subscribe this channel because we promise you to bring the content that will help you to grow mentally and spiritually. For today's podcast, we have with us Dr. Rohit Kapoor, who's a gold medalist since childhood. I request you to please go on Google and type Dr. Rohit Kapoor Amritsar, and you'll get to know the credibility of this person. He's the best cardiologist in the town, and he has read 300 to 400 books just to know the purpose of this life, and that is exactly what he wants to give to the audience. He explains how one incident can change your entire life, and as always, we talk about youth. He gives a beautiful suggestion to the youth. Please like and subscribe this podcast as much as you can, and please drop a comment and let us know your reviews on it. Thank you so much. But first of all, I think let's touch the base, and we wanted to know about your childhood a little bit, like how your childhood was.
My child, because I'm Amritsar born and I hail from a business family. So my father was businessman. So I lost him just 2 years back, and in the business of ball bearings and mobile oils. And it's a very good family, born with a gold spoon, silver spoon, not it's a gold spoon, I know. And we were very well off since I have born, and to my senses, I have found to every amenities was given to me by my family. But our surrounding environment, if you say about spirituality, absolutely it was no. Yeah, it was a pure business family and a pure materialistic family. And even my father, I tell you frankly, I shouldn't say he was a very big alcoholic. He was,
Oh, is
yeah.
it?
Yeah. So I have seen him many times. People carrying him in the house. Yeah. So however, but my mother, because my mother was principal and very senior teacher in some swing and school at Lower, and our main inspiration of study and becoming a doctor was my mother. Is my mother. She's with me, and she really, because we hail from business family, and most of the time in business family they say, okay, if you have done only matric, that is sufficient.
Yeah.
Now you come to the business. Now we need your hands. We
Yeah.
need your accompaniment in the business. My father used to say, okay, 10th is sufficient for
Yeah.
both of you. We are two brothers and one sister. My elder brother also. So he used to say, okay, 10th is all right. Your matric is fine, and then you come to the business. We
Yeah.
need both of you in my business.
Yeah.
But it was my mother was very strict because
Yeah.
she was principal. She was too educated, and she was very adamant. No, I want my both sons to be really good educated. And from the very many years when we were in the schooling time, he used to say, this Rohit is going to be a doctor and my elder brother is going to be engineer, like this. And they built up in our brain that I know at the 5th or 6th class, even my school, my class, my colleagues, they used to say, Rohit is going to become a doctor. You see, at the 5th class, I know. My teacher used to say in 5th class that Rohit is going to be doctor. He used to tell my mom, he is perfect doctor. He is a perfect doctor.
Because
At
you
5th
were.
class, you imagine,
Yeah.
in 5th class. And since I was always gold medalist in whole of my classes
Oh,
since first class,
So that's why.
so
probably
that's why.
yeah.
So I never stood third in my life. Yeah, always first or second, all of my life. I was there in only two positions I have seen. I never seen third position in my life, frankly. So that's the only thing. So I had my younger sister also. But I tell you frankly, since my childhood, the spirituality was not at all any point in my family. We were surrounded by absolutely all materialism. Frankly, I never mind saying these words.
Yeah.
And we had all materialistic because we were quite rich since my birth. I've seen richness, all cars, TV, everything, every mode of entertainment, and nobody was except few days in the year when there were some navratras and become some strictness, my strictness. Otherwise, we were pure non-vegetarian. My family was 100% non-vegetarian family. They never think of vegetarian diet. And this goes. This is
Right.
my childhood. I just told you.
Yeah.
And then slowly becoming a doctor. Then later on, we will come in the next questions also
Yeah.
how we went. But this is actually, frankly, I tell you, if you ask me, what is the point of spiritualism in your childhood? Have you thought of your mother or father has told you? Yeah, they have told me there is God. We don't know exactly who is God.
Exactly. Yeah.
And who is our super personality of Godhead,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
who is our forefather. We don't know anything about it. We know, yeah, there is some God as a child, that's all.
Yeah.
But absolutely, it was different,
Yeah.
different environment in whole my
So,
child.
Prabhu, my next question to you is,
Sure.
like you said that everyone was so sure that you will be a doctor.
Yeah.
But you wanted to be a doctor, or you wanted to be in your business and run that
No,
like,
no, no, because
legacy?
the mother inspiration was absolutely fantastic. I told you my mother was very big inspiration, and whatever she said, that you have to stood first in your life, and you have to become a doctor. My elder brother has to become engineer.
Oh.
Absolutely, it was imprinted on my
Yeah.
brain since our childhood, and I was sure that I am to become doctor. I have to take medical line, and my brother said I have to take engineering line. There was no other second thought among two brothers. So it was pretty sure. He was also super intelligent guy, my elder brother. So like this, we both were ready. And my father came to know that we are good sons of him. That in 8th class, what happened, I stood first, and there was in Punjab School Education Board, I was first in Amritsar district.
Oh, is
My
it?
photo came in the newspaper, and my mother said, "Say, your son photographed in the newspaper." Then my father said, "Oh, really? He's so intelligent that his photos come in the newspaper."
Yeah.
After my 8th class, he came to know
Yeah.
that we both brothers are so intelligent, and we are having photos in the newspapers and everywhere,
Yeah.
that they are so good.
Yeah.
Then after that, he really realized that his two sons, they are really big ones, and they are going to become doctor and engineer like this. So yeah.
That's good. As you mentioned that your entire family used to eat, just like they were very much into non-vegetarian,
Yeah.
and you know there were no link with spirituality. So right now when I see you, you're hardcore spiritual person. Like how did this transformation took place? Like how was this happened? How this
This
happened?
as this everything goes. Then I became doctor, and then I went into a lot of fellowships, national, international, and by God's sake, I should say, by Krishna's mercy. So I started my practice in the city, and it then rode like anything. And I'm practicing for the last 35 years, and now owning one hospital, and under with me there are 90% staff with me. So this whole went up till age of around when I was 45 years. I am blessed with two sons, and Siddhant and Shivam. And elder one, he became automobile engineer from Manipal University. He's a good, intelligent guy. And younger one is doing medical. He is now Dr. Shivam. He's doing post graduation. Now what happened? As I tell you, now I came to know in retrospectively. I'm telling you, at the age of 45, and my son who did engineering, and we lost him. I mean, at the age of 22 years, frankly speaking.
Okay.
And that was a very bold from a blue for our family. Me and
Obviously.
Ritu.
Yeah.
Ritu is my wife. She's a housewife, and I'm a doctor, and she's a housewife. She's not a medical. But that became a bolt from blue for me, and um, it was mysterious that he was in Pune and so whatsoever. But we lost him. That was really, I tell you, very detrimental point for me and Ritu. And here, Raghunath Prabhu, our Prabhu, came into the picture.
Okay.
Yes. And it is also very, how he came into the picture, it was really amazing that Raghunath Prabhu told me that in front of the hospital he was going by car, and by due to some to meet someone, and I don't know. He said, "I don't know what happened to me. I make a U-turn and come to the hospital."
Oh, randomly.
Randomly.
Okay.
I don't know who forced him to come to the hospital. It was the second day, third day of my son's death, And he said, is this something, what has happened here? And he went into the hospital gate. My brother was sitting there, and somebody told him that Dr. Rohit has lost his son. Oh, then Raghunath Prabhu said, I don't know who has forced me to turn my car and go to the hospital. And then he came to our house and he met me, and he said, I know this is a really good from blue for both of you, Dr. Rohit and Ritu. First time they met me. I saw him first time in my life. I don't know. He said, I'm from ISKCON. I just have heard about ISKCON, but I don't know what is exactly ISKCON. He said, I'm from ISKCON. I'm Raghunath Prabhu, and I'm in 30 years, 35 years practicing in ISKCON, and I have come here to just console you. But at that time, we were really weeping and everything. But he said, okay, because now this has happened to you, and I'm sitting here, you must be having a lot of questions to the God. Why this has happened to you? Why this has happened to you? I said, yes, I'm really asking this question, why this has happened to us?
Yeah, definitely.
We have not done anything bad in our life, and this was the first question I asked Raghunath Prabhu when he was sitting in front of me. And then he consoled, and then he gave a lecture. At that time moment when we were really in very bad shape, he gave a lecture even to console us. And he said, you can ask any damn questions about the God. I am here to answer. God has sent me to you, and I'm here. Whatever you have in your mind, you can ask me. Even if you have some gussa with Bhagwan, you express in front of me. Yes. And definitely the bad has happened to you, he said. Definitely it is the worst. Nobody can expect such like worst in the life. But if you have any questions or regret towards God, you contact me. I am there. I am ready to answer.
Yeah.
That was the first time when Raghunath Prabhu met me. Frankly speaking, me and Ritu, a bit consoled by meeting him.
Yeah.
Yes. I told Ritu, what is in this man? I mean, how we are just calm down.
It was like a
Otherwise, for the last few days, we are weeping and weeping, and we are unable to be calmed down. But this man has something which has made us to calm down at least. Otherwise, it was hurting and like a very strong pain in the heart going on.
Definitely.
So that was the point. Then Raghunath Prabhu daily came. He said, I will be coming daily. We never told him to come daily.
To meet you in the hospital?
Yeah, no, in the house.
Oh, okay.
He said, I will be coming daily to meet both of you. We never said to ask him to come daily. But he said, I will be coming daily to meet both of you. Don't worry, I will be coming. Around this time, I will be coming. I will be sitting here. And then you can ask any damn question. I am going to tell you something. And that is, frankly speaking. So, Raghunath Prabhu, his grace, he was the man. And here was, we could understand in the next few days or 1 or 2, 3 weeks, he make us to understand what is ISKCON, what is God, who is God, why this has happened to us. The question continued in my mind. But here, I think now retrospectively I can tell you, because we have gone through many Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita now in the last, it's almost around 9 years this has happened. But like when we read in Vaman Dev Katha, the Bhagwan says, मैं सब कुछ छीन लेता हूँ अपने भक्त बनाने के लिए. So Krishna says this thing. So Vaman Bhagwan took everything from Bali Maharaj to make him a devotee.
Yeah, true.
So now I could understand, like Krishna has taken us, my son, to make us devotee. Maybe this may be what now me and Ritu we said. That may be the reason. But definitely that was the very worst point of our life. But here the healing point was His Grace Raghunath Prabhu and Asfiya Mataji. They helped us to come out of all this situation. They taught us then over the days and weeks that we should chant, we should read Bhagavad Gita to calm down our mind, calm down our hearts from all this ailing time going on. I think that I don't want anybody in the world should have such like incident to become a devotee.
Devotee, yeah.
I don't want, but it has happened to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the point.
Yeah.
From where we understood slightly a bit. Then he asked me to come to preaching center. We both went. Then he made to understand lot of things. Then slowly, you can also understand. Then it's a slow process, and then we could go into that.
Yeah.
And it's since 9 years now. All right.
So basically, what did help you the most? Was it reading or was it chanting? Like, what gave you the
Everything
energy?
helped me at that time. Everything helped me. I think over the 9 years, I must have read the spiritual books, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. Besides Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, we still reading daily. I am a very bookworm and reader. So, despite it, I want to read all the books because I was into it. I have to know
Yeah.
why, who is God, and I was also after it. And despitely our His Grace Raghunath Das is my Shiksha Guru, and Raspriya Mataji are His Grace. Both are my Shiksha Guru. They taught us a lot. But I was after it to read a lot of books. I think I must have read more than 300 spiritual books, whether it's Chaitanya Charitamrita related, whether it's a Nityanand Prabhu related, whether it's a Tukaram saint, or even I read everything. I read Bible, I read the Quran, everything to know why this has happened, who am I, why I have come to this world, what is our main idea of coming to this world,
What's the purpose of coming?
why good thing, bad things happen to good people, all these questions.
Yeah.
I had a session at Bombay, even Radha Gopinath temple. Me and my Ritu, we both went. We had a session of 3 days by brahmacharis. Only two of us.
Oh.
Only two of us. And the all brahmacharis knows about what has happened to us. And they said, okay, only two of you, we will give 3 days session to you. All these questions, they try to clear us. So many things, it is there because I cannot tell in 9 years what we have done to be calmed down.
Yeah.
Then what happened? Then I asked His Grace Raghunath Prabhu that I want to bring my son back, and then he said, okay, do bhakti, do chanting, we will pray, your son can come back, and we are blessed with now daughter. After 2.5 years of my son going, Chinu going, then Krishna gave me a daughter. I think must be soul of Krishna. But I feel so because everyone prayed for it. And then we have got a daughter 6.5 years, and name is Radhita. She is with us, and Krishna gave us chance to smile again.
Give you new
with
life.
all the blessings of Prabhuji and Mataji and all devotees, and then all brahmacharis. I still remember when Radhita was going to deliver on the day, and I still remember in Radha Gopinath temple, they were saying all 200 brahmacharis, they are praying for you, like this. So this was a good point. It was a pray, because we don't reach any level that Krishna should listen to me and Ritu and to get me the Radhita, but it is all brahmacharis pray, and Mataji and Prabhuji's pray, and all devotees here in congregation pray. We got Chinu back. Chinu is a nickname of Siddhant. And now we have got Radhita in our hand.
It's beautiful.
That is there.
Yeah. So, do you think if spirituality was not there, would have been much difficult for you to overcome this incident?
Definitely, I tell you frankly. I think that was the only reason we were saved from these ailing moments. We came out of these ailing moments. We cannot, at the end of life, we cannot come out. Samriti cannot go. But your pain went.
It was a healing process.
Pain went. Pain went with association, with everything. And definitely coming into spiritualism really brought us to smile again. Otherwise, we were thinking how we can smile again in this world. Yeah, that is there.
It was definitely like a newborn thing.
Definitely, we still says both that our life actually started in 2015. Actually started our life. Before that, it was all materialism and indulging in. I am not alcoholic. I am not smoker. But definitely, it was all materialism before that. Yeah.
And you've mentioned that you've read approximately 300 books.
Yeah.
So would you like to give the audience a conclusion of all the books, like one conclusion which you've conducted, that okay, this is what they are trying to say? Like I think every religion is somewhere 90% or the same lines. Like everyone is saying the same thing.
Absolutely. Conclusion of these 200, 300 books, what I have gone through, the most important is the surrender. Surrender, 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 surrender. What amount you can do, surrender. That is very important. Until you surrender, very difficult than otherwise. I think the only one word is surrender in every religion. I met a lot of even Maulvi, I went to a lot of Brahmins, I went to a lot of fathers, that I really want to see what is there.
What exactly is there?
Yes, why this has happened to me, and at that time I was so much ill. So either way, I tell you, the conclusion is only one thing: one should try to surrender. One should understand who is our God. I mean, because most of the people, they don't know. Many times now I ask somebody, who is your God? Who is your Ishtevta? Who is your God? Many people say God. Somebody says this answer, this answer, this answer. Many people, 90% people, they don't know who is the super personality of God.
Where everything is coming from.
Yes.
True. So our main point is to focus on youth. So there are a lot of youth out there who want to achieve something in life, and in that process, I'm pretty sure, like for my age, if I tell you, people they don't like to follow any spirituality, like any path related to spirituality, because of all the movies and all the myths and all the things that are going in the society these days. There's an image in their head that spirituality is like some old school thing which old people are supposed to do. So my question to you is, what do you suggest to the youngsters who will be listening to this podcast, that it's okay to have material desires and it's okay to have a bigger goal in life, but what do you suggest? Should they start their spiritual journey along with the goals that they want to achieve, or after they've reached a certain point, then they should start their journey?
Basically, I would really suggest all the young people, spiritualism, on the path of spiritualism, and knowing about Krishna, and surrendering to Krishna, having faith in Krishna. This everything is very important. Yes, if you want to have some target in your life, you want to achieve, you want to become CEO, you want to become reach a rank, and without having surrendering and faith in Krishna, it's very difficult. One thing I tell you, young people, if you are listening to me, everybody is going to be CEO in his life. Everybody. Krishna makes CEO of every person in his once in lifetime. I guarantee you. All young people, you are listening to me, you all will become CEO in your lifetime. But who is surrendered and have faith in Krishna, he will become CEO at the age of 25. Who is not having surrender and faith to Krishna, he will become CEO at the age of 75. This is a big gap.
That's a big
You want to become CEO at the age of 25, you want to become CEO at the age of 75, that is your decision. In nutshell, very small thing I'm going to tell you.
That's a beautiful answer. That was the best answer I've ever heard. There's one quote which I heard recently from Jim Carrey, and what he said was that he wishes that everyone should be famous, everyone should earn that much amount of money, and everyone should fulfill their desire. And when they do that, then they'll realize that this is not the answer. So that was so beautiful, because people are, especially youngsters, they are after money. They want good cars, good family, good clothes. Everyone's just running after that.
Everyone wants.
Yeah, but no one's actually doing inner engineering, because that is one of the most important things. If you're not at peace inside, even if you buy a Rolls Royce or even if you buy a Lamborghini, it's not going to give you happiness.
Definitely.
So that is what I experienced, because I've been practicing spirituality from last 12, 13 years. And that is what I concluded, that any life apart from this life is just a waste of life. That's waste of time, waste of energy, and waste of life.
As a young man, what you're telling, it's a really fantastic to hear from a young person like you, and it's really really very
Yeah.
nice. I'm so happy you see my smile has come. Yeah, some young person like you, it says, yeah, this is fantastic journey, spiritual
Yeah.
journey, and I am so happy to hear. And I want to hear such like words from most of the young people like you. Yeah.
Yeah, as you said, I also suggest the same thing because my journey has been on the same lines. Like I started my journey from Amritsar, then I went to Chandigarh, and then I went to Mumbai, and then I went to Goa for my job, and then I moved to Australia.
Yeah.
And in all this transition, I think my spirituality also faded a little bit because I was protected with devotees and with my family initially.
It's fantastic.
And when I went, somehow my spirituality was affected. But last couple of years, when I realized that I'm going deeper in materialistic things, I snapped back.
Oh.
And when I snapped back, I saw a bigger picture, and then I realized that I'm making a fool out of myself. Because there's a word which, as you said, Raghunath Prabhu, he constantly repeats this word, that this world is full of dukkha, dukkhalayam asasta.
Yeah.
So no one's going to give you happiness, no one's going to fulfill your desire. There's only one person who's true to you, who will always be with you, and will always give you happiness, and that is only one person. For us, it is Krishna.
Yeah.
And anyone can follow any path, whatever they like, but I think that is one of the most important things. Since you've reached that heights, as you're a doctor, like a very renowned doctor, do you think spirituality gives you a boost in the energy? Like for me, what happens is if I chant, my spirituality grows, but that spirituality gives me confidence and motivation, to have that power inside me, which helps me materially as well.
Yeah.
Which, like, if I go out, if I sit with a couple of friends, I can still, try to preach to them that, that confidence is given by Krishna to me, and I feel like Krishna is speaking to them through me. So I'm just an instrument who's like a man in the middle part. But that thing gives me power, that thing gives me confidence, and that motivation to do more spirituality. So do you think that you've reached a certain point without spirituality, but now, as you said, that when you link spirituality to it, you've reached another heights?
Definitely.
So what is your take on that? That what do you get that confidence and that energy from inside? Your soul is happy and your soul is fulfilled. So do you get that energy
I
from
can't
it?
say exactly about my soul is happy because that's very internal thing. But because we know, as far as in Bhagavad Gita says, the food of the soul is your chanting, food of the soul is your surrendering, food of the soul is your how much you are involved with the devotees. Definitely the soul is happy when somebody is doing all these things in the devotional practice. But about talking about in my practice, definitely I do wear tilak even when I go to my clinic, when I sit on my chair. And I feel that tilak becomes a very, very important impression to my patients and to the surrounding people. And when they come to me, now most of the people in the last few years, now they have come to me, they enter my chamber and they say, Hare Krishna, Dr. Kapoor. Like this.
That's
you
beautiful.
See,
yeah.
you see.
Just
I
by
always
tilak.
wear tilak. I went to the rounds, whole of the staff, they don't say me good morning or good evening or good night, good evening or good afternoon. They say Hare Krishna to me.
That's beautiful.
Every staff in my hospital, I have not told them to say me Hare Krishna, but just seeing my tilak, everybody, my patient, they say, yes, Hare Krishna, Dr. Saab, Hari Bol, Dr. Saab, Radhe Radhe, Dr. Saab. Like this, when they say tilak, they become immediately impressed. Yeah, that is very important. One thing, tilak has a good power, and I would suggest everyone who is in this devotional practice, they should wear tilak. One thing, very, very important. And there is no mansik tilak. I should say you should wear a tilak. It should be visible to everyone. Nothing to be ashamed of that. Nothing about that. Okay, I'm going to office, I'm going to meet my boss, how I can wear a tilak. No, no, no. Everyone has to wear a tilak, which should be visible.
Yeah.
No invisible that with the hand you are doing it. No, no. I say no. Visible tilak should be there. It carries a very, very good energy, good power. It gives you a lot of confidence. Yes, very strong willpower. Your confidence really boosts up. I told you just a few questions back when you asked me that before spiritualism, coming to spiritualism or after spiritualism, that this life is beautiful. Beautiful in the sense I told you a lot of things. And my practice before spiritualism, after spiritualism, definitely I find a big boost with the spiritualism. Krishna is helping me to boost more, getting me more reputation, more name among the people. So these all things happen. And I attribute everything to Krishna. Yes, it's nothing me. Because now we have understood by chanting and reading books and by good instructions of my gurus that whatever you do, this is nothing. Krishna in John chapter 10, number chapter, Bhagwan ka Aishwarya, Krishna says, everything is me.
Yeah.
Your intelligence is me. Your victory is me. Even you say, I am victorious, I am number one in this world. No, you are nothing. That is me. Krishna says, that is me. Your number one is me, your victory is me, your power is me, your confidence is me, your intelligence is me. So everything is Krishna. Yes. So everything is provided by Krishna. You see. So that's very important. Everywhere it is Krishna. Everywhere it is Krishna. We have to think Krishna. We have to, whatever you are eating, it is Krishna's meal. We are taking bhog, we are taking up. Was offered food, everything is Krishna. So in this I want to tell you everything is Krishna. Yeah, I'm nothing. If I say I have achieved height, I say no, this height is what? It's Krishna. Krishna is doing everything. Nothing. My intelligence is zero. I'm a zero person. My intelligence is Krishna. My reputation is Krishna. I am nothing. Nothing. We are just a son of Krishna. Krishna is my father. Yes. My own father who has given me the birth. And he was instructed by Krishna to give me the birth to bring into this world. But my father is Krishna. Yes. My mother is Radharani. Yeah, like this.
When you know this theory, you get more humble by these things.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And you see the level of humility of His Grace Raghunath Prabhu. And our humbleness of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. How humble he is.
Yeah.
And always he tell humility. Lot of lectures by humility by our His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. Forgiveness. Don't expect anything
in back. Yeah.
Two things. You must be having a habit of forgiveness and don't expect anything. Many lectures by His Holiness Raghunath Swami Maharaj. Many lectures.
I've heard few lectures from him, and there's one thing which was very beautiful from the lecture, which I think from takeaway for me was, when you listen to his lectures, as you said, one thing which is you have to be very humble, and the second thing which I love about the lectures is that Maharaj always say that you should see Krishna in everyone. A dog which is sitting outside your house, a beggar who's coming to get something from you, or a person who's coming to your house, everywhere you should see Krishna in everything. In the stone, in trees, in plants, everywhere you should see Krishna. So that was one thing which changed my behavior towards everyone. Because once you realize that Krishna is in everything and everyone, and then whenever I get angry or impatient, I always get this thing from Maharaj that there's Krishna inside him and he's talking to me through him. So when I think about all those things, it calms me down.
That's nice.
So that is one takeaway which, and there's another thing, like if I've done something, if I've achieved something, I always pray to make me humble. So when something happens, good it happens in my life, everyone tend to get that thing that okay, I've done it, I've done something good. But this thing has happened with me. Like my experience is that whenever this thing comes to my head, someone comes straight to me and then they were like, you've done this thing wrong. And deep in my head, I'm smiling because my reciprocation to that might be I might get angry if I was not in a spiritual life. But now what my response is that probably Krishna is just trying to make me humble. That everyone's saying you've done something good, but if some random person is coming up to me saying that you've not done it in the right way, then my take is that Krishna is coming.
He's examining you.
Yeah.
He's taking your exam to see how you respond back when somebody is saying you have not done good, and now you have to respond back. So Krishna wants to see how much humble you are.
Yeah.
That is very important. And every moment is an exam.
Yeah.
I tell you, every moment is an examination moment. Yeah, Krishna takes exam.
And you
But
must
he's my
pass.
father. Yeah. Normally, he himself gets us passed. Yeah.
That's what.
That
He
is
gives
what I
us
tell you.
energy
Yes,
to pass
yes,
that test.
Yes,
and so-
he gives us energy. To
Yeah,
pass.
because I read this beautiful thing by Raghunath Prabhu. He is also one of the famous ISKCON leaders. He says that, as you said, that when we see everyone, Krishna in everyone, it automatically makes us humble. And if we are going through some difficulties or if we have some bad habits, there are two things that we should do. We should go in front of the God and we should say, "But I know I have these problems, but still I'm yours.
Yeah.
And it is your responsibility to get me out of it."
That is called faith.
Yeah.
You should have faith in Krishna.
Yeah.
And
And
then
then
told
you
you.
should have
Yeah,
faith.
it's very important. Faith is very important.
Yeah.
You have.
So Prabhu, you've mentioned in the starting that you started with 4 rounds and then you increased to 6 and then like the way you were instructed. So I want to know, first of all, I want to know that how many years you've been in this journey for?
No, this is approximately around 9 years.
9 years.
9 years.
So I think we should know that what was the beginning of the process was like what was the routine in the beginning, and like right now what's your routine, because I'm pretty sure you're a pretty busy person.
Yeah.
And in that busy schedule,
Definitely.
how do you manage your spirituality? Like how do you
Definitely.
crunch that spirituality in
You
that?
imagine when we started our rounds, we started from 2 rounds, 9 years back, then 4, then 6, 8, 12, 14, 16, whatsoever. We went to 16. Then I asked one question to God Krishna Maharaj Ji. He came here and I was with the lunch sitting with him. Prabhuji was also with us. I said, can you tell me what's the golden tip of not coming to this earth? Only one golden tip.
Of not coming to this earth.
Back to this earth.
Okay.
I told him that this has happened to me and this earth is full of dukhalya.
Yeah.
It is full of sorrows. You tell me only one golden tip. He said, how many rounds you are doing? I said at that time I was doing 16 rounds. So one golden tip is that can you go to 64 rounds? Yes. If you go to 64 rounds, I guarantee you will never come back to this earth. Yes. Maharaji told me this thing. God Krishna Maharaj. So again I asked counter question to him. Are you guaranteed? Are you guaranteed that if I go to 64 rounds, then I will not come back to this earth? He said, I guarantee you. Yes. Then I told my wife, Ritu, okay, I will go to 64 rounds. So then I started increasing my round 16 to 22, 24. There was no fixed number, but I was increasing it.
Yeah.
And it was increasing it. And over the span of 4 to 5 months, I went to 64 rounds. Yes. I did 64 rounds approximately around 10, 11 months before Aradhita was born now.
Oh.
Before Aradhita was born, and for 11 months I did 64 rounds with total costing around 8 to 9 hours. And I know how I was doing it. It was Krishna's mercy I was doing it. Because I was so busy practitioner.
Yeah.
I start my practice in the morning at 8 a.m. and goes up till 7, 8 p.m. 12 hours working, and still I was doing 64 rounds. I did it for 11 months. Then Radhita was born, and I told Prabhuji, Prabhuji, now Radhita is born. He said, reduce these rounds because now the girl has come. Your baby is a deity. You have to worship that. You have to take care of that.
Yeah.
Now you have to spend some time with her. And this all went. Now presently, frankly speaking, I'm doing 16 rounds, but I'm making it more quality rounds.
Yeah.
So otherwise I used 11 months, 64 rounds. I used to do.
From your conversation, there's a constant thing that which I'm getting, which is that you don't want to come back to this world.
Yeah.
So what is there in this world that you hate so much? Like, because that is the vibe which I'm getting from you, that you don't want to come in this world, you don't want to come in this world. So this might be something that you have concluded that this world is not giving me happiness.
Absolutely not worth living as such. But this world is you want to live only in association of devotees, and if you are following instructions of Guru, like His Grace Raghunath Prabhu, Rajpriya Mataji, and if you are really following his path, then it's okay. Otherwise, without this, this is a materialistic world. Prabhupada studied a magazine, His Holiness Prabhupada Maharaj, Back to Godhead.
Yeah.
Why he named this Back to Godhead? He might have named any other caption for the book.
Yeah.
But he said, yes, you must target back to Godhead. You read his question answers, his purports, everything. You must target back to Godhead. Whatever you are doing. आप नवेदा भक्ति है, 9 types of bhakti, whatever you are doing. But you must target one thing, back to Godhead.
That should be the end goal.
That is important. That's why the caption of the journal and magazine was kept Back to Godhead.
Yeah.
It was kept by His Holiness Prabhupada. Yes. That is there. He is our spiritual guru.
Yeah.
Yes. So this world is full of materialism. If somebody is not in bhakti, not in devotion, then I don't think so anybody is going to be very happy. Absolutely not. Everybody has a thought somewhere. Everybody has some evidence of some sorrow, some pain of around him. I know I have interviewed many persons to ask him, are you happy? Are you happy? You don't have any problem? I have problem. Everyone have problem. I have problem. Every family has some problem. The only happiest person in this world is devotee.
One is connected to God.
Yes, who has surrendered to the Krishna,
Yeah.
who has faith in Krishna. Faith is very important. Prabhupada in one of the chapters, in one of the most of the shlokas, they say, Hindi says Shraddha, and in English he says faith. You have to keep faith, and that is the basic thing. Surrender and the faith. So that's why I say we don't want to come to this world. We want to go back to Godhead. That is needed. And our spiritual guru says back to Godhead. Why not us? We should target this thing.
Yeah.
Rather, everyone should target back to Godhead.
Yeah.
We have to go to Krishna. Yes. Thank you.
So we'll move to the last round. So it's
Yeah.
basically a rapid fire round.
All right.
I'll ask you one. I'll tell you one word.
Okay.
So whatever comes to your mind, you just
Sure.
have to repeat that. So it's
Definitely.
basically one word and whatever is coming to your mind.
Sure.
So first one is favorite book.
My favorite book is Journey Home by His Holiness Raghunath Swami Maharaj.
Happiness.
Devotees Association.
Krishna.
Surrender.
Spirituality.
It's a therapy.
So that's about it.
Yeah.
We've had a great conversation with you. It was
Really, so nice.
really nice to have you on.
Definitely me too here, and I'm very happy to sit with you, and we have talked a lot about spiritualism and about Krishna, and again the take-home message is again from my side, try to surrender to Krishna. You are trying, Krishna is helping you to make you surrender.
Yeah.
You are trying to have a faith in Krishna. If you try, the Krishna will definitely make you to faith in him. Everything is Krishna. Everywhere is Krishna. You can't see Krishna. I definitely say you can see Krishna, but you should have that faith and that surrender in Krishna. He is your father. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.